Welcome back to QP Only Ironman. Last time we left off halfway through the Cook's Assistant quest, which was a quest that provided endless opportunities to train farming and crafting around several dairy cows in RuneScape. We left off by getting level 500 total, which happened at level 31 farming, which also unlocked strawberries. With strawberries now unlocked, I decided to start planting them right away. I didn't want them to die, however, and since there are no flowers to protect them, I decided to pay the nearby farmer some apples which I got from the farm north of Ardoin. With the flower patch not being available here anyway, it did make a difference what allotment seed I planted here, so I might as well use this patch to plant my strawberries. Also, as an added bonus, harvesting strawberries is an RD achievement task. After the farming trips I wanted to get my ranged up as well as my melee stats, so I bought a couple of arrows from Low and continued training on the cows while training my crafting there as well. This got me a bunch of ranged levels until I finally reached level 40 crafting, which meant I was finally able to enter the Grafton Guild. After a quick farm run, I went to the Grafton Guild right away since there's even a dairy cow in the field next to the guild, and that meant I was able to mine some silver there, which I needed for Tiaras to use for rune crafting the 400 air talismans. Getting the full inventory took a while, but to bank the ore afterwards I used the underworld tunnel to Falador since it didn't provide any agility experience. After mining for a bit, I alternated with another few farm runs, and during those runs I noticed I started to run out of seeds to farm. Luckily you also need a pot of flour for Cook's Assistants, so that meant I could also pickpocket master farmers near the wheat field of RD. I did so for a while, getting a bit more decent stack of seeds. I then got my mining level up to 35, which got my stack of silver ore to 400. Then I decided to do some achievements that would be easy to complete without gaining any experience. So I did some achievements in Falador, Port Sarim, Entrana and then the Wizard's Tower. And then I got some bones from a calf, which I would then feed to a dog in Varrock. I bought a newspaper and some silk, and then I moved to RD to sell the silk and do some more other easy achievements. I then got a 2-for-1 RD and Wildy achievement by teleporting to the wilderness with the lever. I then got a few thieving levels in between, which resulted in a decent set of herb and allotment seeds. I then continued doing more achievements by boarding the fishing trawler. I couldn't exit the minigame because of dialogue interrupts though, but luckily the inactivity timer kicked me off without giving me any experience. To finish off the round of achievements, I opened Alex's Hunter store and then I did another farm run. During one of those farm runs, a glitch happened of some sorts where the game thought I had a spirit tree planted and it was diseased, but after closer inspection it turned out to just be a figment of the game's imagination. In the next farm run after that, I got another Evo Bob random event. Based on some feedback, I decided that I'd only do the Evo Bob randoms when close to a quest objective. Because Evo Bob's experience drop is always right after the random event, this seemed the only fair approach. I can still get lamps and any other random event anywhere, because those rewards don't immediately award any experience. Anyway, after all that, I finally decided I'd finish the quest. I had done what I wanted. I mined enough silver for the 400 tiaras, and in the meantime I got a massive amount of other stats as well. So with the pot of flour and the egg in my inventory, I did one final farm run around the dairy cows, which got me one more farming level. Then I finished off the quest by getting the milk and finally handing it all in to the cook in Lumbridge. After all this, I managed to get a massive 155 total levels during just this one quest. Most of those levels are due to the crafting and farming grinds, but there's also some decent progress in all combat stats except for magic, gaining 10 or more levels each. After finally completing this early monster of a quest, at least when it comes to my account, I started the Restless Ghost quest. On the way to Father Ernie, I attached a rope to the Lummi Swamp cave entrance and moved on to get my Ghost Speak amulet. I then had a quick chat with the ghost in Lumbi, at which point I realized I had made a mistake doing this quest now. Taking the grapple shortcut south of the ghost's coffin is a Lumbridge achievement, which I would now not be able to do without putting the resulting experience on the exception counter. Ah well, too bad. I continued with the quest by gearing up with some ranged gear and some wines for food, to then start massacring some wizards near the skull for some drops. Or more specifically, mainly the water talisman. It can't hurt to have an extra type of talisman, so I took this opportunity to get one. I gained some levels while killing the wizards, and after a while I also decided it would be a good idea to mine an inventory or two of essence, which I would probably need in some future situations. I then finished off the quest by first grabbing the skull and killing the skeleton that woke up because of it. The final blow got me down to 3 XP until the level up for magic, which frustrated me so much that I killed the nearest person I could find in Lumbridge. That got me the level up though, so I apologized to the dead by releasing the spirit of the restless ghost. And of course the ghost had to taunt me by flying off to the grapple shortcut. On the way to the next quest I got a maze random, which I completed and then got the worst reward ever from a maze random: feathers and iron arrows. Then, before I started Doric's quest, I noticed there was a Falador guard walking just east of Doric's house. So because that's a Falador achievement, I tried to pickpocket the guard, but sadly this guard didn't count towards the achievement. I then actually started the quest and started mining in the Dwarven mine in sight of the iron ore Doric wanted. While I was there, I also got a lamp, which I again put on Hunter. I then gained a couple of mining levels and first reached level 40 for gold and then 41 for the rune pickaxe. While I was here in the Dwarven mine, I went to the Motherlode mine to repair a strut, which was needed for an achievement. I was kindly let into the mine by a friendly miner, which avoided XP gain for me. I then repaired a strut for the achievement, and since my smithing was still low, it only granted 43 smithing XP. On the way out, however, I did gain some XP, even though I probably could just as easily have teleported out. In the end, my counter got raised to 67 XP in total because of both rocks giving 10 XP each. I then kept training my mining on coal and gold at first, and then after getting a large enough stack of coal, I moved on to mining iron, where I gained some more levels. Although I didn't record it, at level 50 I stopped training mining and went on to complete the quest, for which I mined some copper and then some clay. I then finally handed it all into Doric, which gave me access to his anvil, and completed the quest. I then quickly gathered the ingredients needed for the birthday event running at the time, and after handing them all in to the Lumbridge chef in Falador, I moved on to the next quest, which is gonna be Prince Ali Rescue. For that I needed to get some supplies, such as a ball of wool which I got from Artie, and a piece of soft clay which I made from the clay I mined earlier. I then started the quest and then did some skilling while standing next to Osman. Next to him I also did a lap of the Kharid rooftop, which was needed for an achievement. I then wanted to smith some steel, but unfortunately I didn't have 30 smithing yet, so I needed to smith some silver to get my level up to level 30. Reaching level 30, I continued smithing silver and crafting tiaras until I had the required 400 tiaras to make all of my air talismans into tiaras. During that I also got a genie random event, which I of course again put on Hunter, this time getting level 6. After I got through my entire stack of silver ores, I started smelting my steel bars, which got me another couple of levels. When I finally depleted my bank of all smeltables, I started doing some combat training on the Kharid guards, using Kebab's bot next door to keep myself healthy, which I never imagined myself saying in any other context. Training here I unlocked some stuff, among which the most useless prayer I could ever unlock as a hardcore, and then kept training at the guards, with the goals being both getting an earth talisman as a drop, which would happen after training just a little bit more, and then getting level 40 combat, which I would need to unlock Vannaka as a Slayer Master. I wanted to unlock Vannaka because he would be my strongest Slayer Master for a long time, and building up Slayer points would be a crucial part in my Slayer progress. With 39 attack I got to 40 combat, then buried some bones for another prayer level, and then traveled to Vannaka to hear what my first Slayer task would be. I physically twisted his arm to get him to give me a Slayer task, but to get back at me he assigned Ankus as the first task, which I could never ever do. With this I did get a Varrock achievement though. On my way out I grabbed a brass key and then went to Turiel to cancel my current task. I'll discuss the specifics of Slayer on my account later, but for now the task of Wolves was good enough for me. Back in Kharid I got an easy clue scroll drop, which I then went to do right away. I bought the black plate body and mithril pickaxe, but at the shop in Falador I realized I couldn't buy an iron kite shield anywhere. That meant this clue would not be possible to do right now, so I stored it in my bank. Since I got this black plate body now anyway, I switched my iron plate body to a black plate body in my bank and got rid of the iron plate body. I then trained one more level until 40 attack and then started doing the actual quest. After having a chat with Osman, I went and got the required items I didn't have yet. I then got Ned to make me a wig, and then went for a quick detour by the Willow Trees for a quick achievement within reach of Aggie and to get some ashes. It turns out I didn't have a high enough fire making level though, so I burned a regular log instead. I then got some skin paste from Aggie, bought some bright yellow, blonde dye to put on the wig, and went to Port Sarim to buy a few beers. I then got an imprint of the key and then got Osman to make me a replica, after which I retrieved the key from Leela and I only had to get the guard drunk and lock up Lady Kelly in some non-existent cupboards. And then I could set Ali free, which gave me free access through the Kharid gate. I then talked to Hassan to complete the quest and to get ready to move on to the next one. The next quest was going to be the Knight's Sword, which I would use to get some smithing XP and to get some gear upgrades from the Ice Giants. That's gonna be it for this video though. I hope you enjoyed. See ya!